the fractal geometry of the market. So the market is fractal geometric, first of all, right? And that means that it has self-similarity. So whatever pattern that you see on one time frame, you would see the same type of pattern on all different time frames. Not at the same time, but that pattern will be there. So setup 1 is one of those patterns. Now what I've found is that if you manipulate vertical axis or the horizontal axis, the data on this, you can recreate the same fractal. So you can look at the same fractal from different dimensions. And that is the hunt strategy. When you're stage 2 and you're trading the hunt method, you're still trading the setup 1. So the reason I've put everyone on stage 1 is to understand this 3, 4, 5 to trade here only and look for target zone 1, which is the setup 1. So I will first explain how do you tackle this market from a stage 1 point of view. This is Frankfurt Open. So you don't trade Frankfurt Open, but you look at that price and you wait for the London Open. Now during Frankfurt Open it's going up, but later on, towards the end of it and towards the start of London session, which is here, market has clearly given you an indication of, sell orders have kicked in here. So it's telling you something, and it comes back up, doesn't go all the way up there. The stepping down pattern is there. Clearly easy peasy for me to go short here. But I like to be careful around the open. So sometimes I would let that gyration kind of go, because I've been burnt many times. And so the way I've learned is that I look for momentum. So this is the stage 3 thing. So if you're in stage 1, you won't do. This is the LOBOT. LOBOT is a lot to do with trading with momentum, reading the market the way it is. So like I said, this stuff for a beginner, you probably don't know what I'm talking about, that, so the market breaks out. So this means everything for me. I know the market is telling me something. Probabilistically, not concrete. And then this happens. This is what I call the OB candle, the outside bar. And so everything else was pointing down, and then this price confirmation goes, yes, I'm going down. So I made entry straight away here. Stop loss was 10, and by default I have 3R target point, and that got hit in the first 2 minutes. So I had 3% profit in the first few minutes, and what I was talking about it, I said, and this is what it is. Okay, so you're at stage 1, you wait for this to happen, and price comes back. It's still not yours, but if you're at stage 2 and you're looking for hunt signals, this is your first cue. So you have a new peak. That's the rule of the 4 questions flow chart of stage 2. The hunt signal is wait for new peak, open gator and everything, put, and wait for at least one dark bar, and there's at least one dark bar, and on the same dark bar you have the cherry signal. And that is the cue, and you enter your trade here. Your stop loss will automatically be placed if you trade with ATM and click PO below the bar. On the bar, stop loss will be there, and target point will be 2R. So in the next 3 minutes, your other target is hit. Now again, it's a peculiar one, because I'm stage 3 and above. I know how to deal with this. If you're on stage 2 today, you would have got a break even. Why? Because it goes 1R in your favor, comes back, hits your stop loss, and drops. But it's happened to me so many times that I know how to tackle it and when to do it. Sometimes I get it wrong. So as soon as it moved break even, so here it is. I said I sold the OB Jasmine, and I said Jasmine because she knows this stuff. She's in stage 3 and above. I don't want to talk about this to any other people. I mean, I can talk about it, but it would just confuse them. So best for them to just focus on setup 1. And caught 3R job done, 10 stop loss, 30 target point. Today took me 3 minutes. So obviously it was 3 minutes. I could have just left, but I knew the situation. I know how to play the hunt. And then a few minutes later, while I'm explaining this, I take the trade straight away, cherry. So as soon as I took the trade, I took a picture to say, this is what cherry should look like. Because I can show you the picture, like when you see the end of the picture right here, it's different story. training wise, you need to learn how the setup looks around here. So that then brings me to that particular algorithm that I found. It's about the count. So the horizontal is price. So price, when it stretches, the pattern stretches. So when price is moving, the pattern will stretch. If price is not moving, changes too much, then the pattern will squeeze from above and below. But time wise, we can manipulate that as well. So let's go back to this chart. So you see this, and it hits that. So how do you catch a hunt signal? You wait for this strong, clear indication of price. And then you want the gator to be open, and you don't want price to go more than red line. In this occasion, it perfectly came to the green line. You have no divergence here. You have a clean peak, clean pullback, bang. And if you remember, Elliott wave in one line. Push, pull, push again. That's it. Let me show it to you using this. So if that is my push, that's where my target zone 1 will start. If this is the end of push, then that's the peak of 3. If this is pull, then that's my peak of 4. And if that is push again, that's target zone 1 hit. And that is Elliott wave. Translating that, now hunt looks easy. But if you don't understand what's behind it, is this concept, push, pull, push again. This is setup 1. Now this setup 1, from the start of the push to the peak of the push, from the start of the pull to the peak of the pull, that's 20 candles. That is 40 candles. So altogether it's 60 candles. So if that is 60 candles, wave 5 will be around 40 to 60 candles. And there you go. Price has hit target zone 1. 8 out of 10 times, wave 5 will hit target zone or hit and enter the target zone. And that's where it will end. And look at it. So if this is the end of wave 5, clearly, as it went all the way up, you know, it's clean coming down, not breaking the symmetry, stepping down, stepping down. So that's one wave. How many candles is it? 47. Now let's count the whole sequence. So if this is one sequence, 3, 4, 5, this whole sequence took 104 candles. Now this is where hunt came into being. So what I did is that, well, I used to take trades here and here all the way, but I plotted all those trades, 6, 7 years of data, no, 4, 5 years of data, blown away. I was like, bloody hell. Turns out all the good setup ones, so for example, if this is a good setup 1, when you squeeze this onto a higher time frame, let's say go to M5, guess what happens? You have the push and the pull, but it's not as clear as setup 1 over there, but it created a pattern, a peak of AO and at least one dark bar with a clean, clear gator open, like this. See this? And that is where we coded the hunt signals. Now this indicator has a lot of code inside, clever code. So now if we count the candles, how many are there? There are 12. So the minimum candles for a setup 1 is 40. 40 total between 3 and 4. So if it's 40, your 3 will probably have a 30 candles or 25 candles, and wave 4 will take 10 to 15. It can go all the way to 90 candles, 96 candles. When you have 96, you probably have 60 candles of wave 3 and the rest will be wave 4. But if it's more than that, then the setup 1 pattern goes incorrect. Then you might have a 3, 4 inside it and you won't know. If you don't understand this bit, that's fine. So this is the setup 1. Not this whole thing, not the 3, 4, 5. That's the completed bit. That's Elliott Wave. We don't trade Elliott Wave. We trade the 3-4 pattern, which is the setup one. This. So when you squeeze that setup one, the 3-4, it becomes a hunt. So when I squeeze this, it becomes a seed here. So you could have, if you took the seed here, your entry would be here, stop loss there, 2 hour target point down there. It would be simple, right? But if you took it on M1, it will be setup 1. And now if you understand that, and then this happened, this seed, you would now know that you can actually take this trade because it's a monarch seed. So the chart itself is in formation. That's important. So what people would do is that when I give them the hunt method, they would go and start taking any type of signal here and there. They won't care about the pattern as a whole. What I want you to do is to take hunt signals at the beginning of stage 2. You want to introduce the hunt signals, but only take them when you've already taken a setup 1 or did not take a setup 1 and price crossed the 0 line, first cross, and then that first dark bar, that's your monarch, not this one. This is not monarch, this is monarch. First one, you have a seed, 7 pip stop loss, 14 target point, bang, within 4 minutes. So what you've done is that you have taken a setup 1 of the 5 times lower time frame. In this case, it's going to be the 12-second chart. So you don't need to look at it because that's too fast chart and it would destroy your account because you won't be disciplined. But knowing that a good hunt signal, which is within the formation, so this is a 3-4-5 formation, and it is within wave 5, then this is a good signal. So what do? You take the trade knowing that this is going to be a setup 1 on the lower time frame. And then when it hits target zone, the 3-4-5 is completed, you're done. Let's go to the chat room a bit. So that was that. ATM moved it to BE, but I didn't want that, so I quickly moved it back. Otherwise, I'd be out BE. That happened. If that happened, it would be okay. Something like this. Can you see? As soon as the entry is taken, next minute, bang, it goes. ATM is set at 1R. BE, which means bring stop loss to break even or entry price at 1R. And I knew that the market is actually clearly moving down. It's the first few minutes. It's a clear indication I don't want price to come back and hit me. So I put my stop loss somewhere there, about half the risk. It could have come. I was ready to take half the risk. 1%, 0.5% loss, not a problem. Even if it went and hit my stop loss up there, not a problem. I've already made 3R. I was ready to reinvest that 1%. But I knew how to play. And if I didn't do this, I probably wouldn't have touched it because then that would mean I would have lost discipline. If I lost this and then this was the only trade, I would have said, oh, this was a discipline 0. But I'm at stage 5, let's say. I know what I'm doing. And you can get there as well. Just about a year time. You need to go step 1, step 2. So I did that. It paid off on this occasion. Bang, it hits 2R. So within 11 minutes of trading, I think it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 minutes of trading. I have 2 trades and a collective 5% profit. So then what happened? We have a LOBOT, we have a hunt. And so you're in stage 1, you're waiting for this, you see that price action, you see a nice peak, then you wait for the cross of 0 line, you wait for the gator to sleep, purple is correct, you look at M5, the cool trick of keeping an M5 on 1/3 of your chart. It's here, nice and clean, gator open, clean open, from the open comes down, gator's open, nice pullback, not going all the way to blue line, bang, you have this. So this is a setup 1 that you took. Now if you're stage 2, beginning of stage 2, you took the setup 1, or you did not take the setup 1, you waited for the pullback, new peak, pullback, dark bar, See, same concept. So your setup one on M1 is a hunt on M5. You wait for the peak and pullback. Here you did the same thing on the M1 chart. Peak, pullback, seed signal, bang. So look at this. This seed is on M5. This seed is on M1. This seed happened somewhere here. Let's find it out. Let's go to M5. See? This seed happened right after this seed happened. So when this seed is happening inside it, so you're on M5 trading the seed, right? You're here. You're waiting for price to come and hit 30 pips here. Within that journey, inside it, a person trading the M1 takes the trade, gets out before your trade hits the target. And that is fractal geometry. You are taking a setup and the other person is taking the same kind of setup on a lower time frame, on a faster thing. So you both risking 1% on different time frames, on different time dimensions, but similar strategy, and your results over the period of 100 trades are going to be the same. Now the difference is that on M1, 100 trades will probably take, let's say, 5 weeks. On M5 it might take 10 weeks. And then when you switch this to the hourly chart, something special happens. What? Because then you have the ability to trade 10 to 15 charts. And then things change. So you don't, it's not that if you go to a higher time frame, it's going to take 100 weeks. No. Because then you can trade multiple markets. And that's how it goes. Thank you for watching.